when I'm talking about us, the big you, and is it we or is it you? Well, there's both there. We could talk about that if you want, but I wanted to just talk about this thing that's going on with me. I'm going like this because it's like I'm a huge looking glass. That's what I would be. See, that's what an oracle is. And when I do astrology, and in fact, when I'm telling stories and stuff, you're able to start doing some manipulating with the lens. Maybe something comes in clear, or maybe something fades in and out. Who knows? But I'm here for you with as far as, it's important that we communicate. It has to do with maintaining a certain relationship or like relatedness for sure. And see if we see these communications devices are profoundly different than the television set. But does any of you people even consider that at all? At all? Most likely, no. And it's not just that subject matter that you are completely choosing or just not thinking about at all, at all. No, no, I don't need to say you, but particularly the YOU, is the programmable one that is going to just get fed information about everything and not really consider, well, maybe consider the source or something like that, right? Like, why did they have to tell you about every little single thing? See, now I'm going to close the book on the Epstein files and say, in fact, do you know why it's so overwhelming? How that, oh, they're mentioning, oh, there's millions and millions of cases, and then, see, but the thing is that there's billions of people, and none of them are going to stand up and say, oh, fuck this, I need to go to court and explain why I can't pay a single bit of tax or not even a bill. In fact, I'm not going to go to Walmart anymore. Fuck this. Nope. There's probably like 6 people on each continent who are already practicing a kind of defiant, well, I certainly don't do that, and I am not going to do, and I don't do any of that. I don't even vote, right? That kind of thing. Are they going to open up their own country? Can they retrieve $333 trillion into their account? I say, hell yeah, if in fact they are authentic in their ability to see with the eye. And that's the ticket, that's the key. In fact, you have keys there, right? And so we're talking about the word keys now. I like that it almost says Kai, like I is there. See, I'm suspect of that fucking Y, the letter Y. Why isn't it just called I? It has a W kind of effect, right? Right? Why? I don't know. It's just, this might be fun for some people, especially the Geminis out there. They're like, God, yes. And I'm like, well, I'm a Gemini rising, but I am not talking about something. I am talking about something when I am pointing at the interfacing system sent from benevolent beings who live in outer space. It's a symbols system that can, like all words possible, even your own little selves, when you start animating and you're saying, well, and I, and this and that about blah, 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 you have to say something? I don't know. Hopefully not much. See, words and the whole thing that we have to do with our voice, which is to communicate, that's largely the woman's arena. But I'm not denying a man his voice and all that stuff, of course. That's very important. All of them have an equal opportunity to make their communications device point at truth in reality. And in fact, that is the only use for you as a device. Did I say use? No, I'll say put the E down. It's talking about us again, baby. Oh, it's you. Put the S down. Stop trying to get out of it, Ben. You is you. So far, the kids like it. So anyway, I'll try to make this a long video. It's something interesting, right? Do you see a subtle change? Will she ever go back? Will she ever come back? No, I'm moving forward, and can I pull you into my madness? Is it madness? Watch out. See, I was talking about these Aries planets, and now I would like to get more, I can get more intricate. Pam Gregory and all of the other astrologers on social media, they do pull up all of the 35 other objects in the sky and say, and look, I know Black Moon Lilith is in Sagittarius, and that is squaring the Pisces. It's been difficult to have the squares with Black Moon Lilith. I'm a very Lilith kind of a person. I would like to know where my Black Moon Lilith really is. And I know that Chiron has been in Aries, and that's been difficult, especially for the Aries risings, the actual Aries people that have Aries on the first house of Aries. And then the Chiron is going, see, all these planets are going right through our first house of our physical body, and it's going to affect our appearance some way, somehow. And I know I did kind of see myself in the sun. I was taking a picture, and I was like, why do I look like that? I don't know. It's just like, I guess I'm 50, almost 52. Okay, whatever that means. I don't feel like I should look like that, but I do live in the United States, and I'm pretty sure that if you're anybody like me, and it's like you're still in the United States, because no, what I would like to do, ideally, top of the list, is I leave the United States, I go and I detox and literally get medical attention, because I lived in the United States for so long, and it started early that they put what? They put amalgam fillings in, and then what? I have to detox. Everybody does. Everybody needs to get out of the United States and just go and start being in whatever intensive care that you need. But I happen to think that particular kind of refuge or sanctuary needs to become more organized. And does it have to move, literally across the land and then regroup? I say no, because what we're talking about is, what are you talking about, Shauna? Christ living in hell. Yeah, pretty much. And so where does Christ go? Is it just a constant go to the courthouse and let's talk about taxes? Apparently so. Do you want to keep, a lot of, see, but there's so many. Let's get back to the two. Many. I could have gone on and on longer, but it would have just fucking creeped you out, right? You would have been like, what the fuck? It's because I'm a singer. I learned how to sing after, well, I knew how to sing on tone and on note. I have a perfect pitch that way, but then it was just hardly 9 years ago. I mean, I've been singing so-called singing for 30 years, but then a professional, I got to sit with them, and they kind of irritated me at first, but then they taught me how to hold the voice box and actually sing a note. And I just switched it up right there and showed you, and went into bagpipe mode. And it's more like a didgeridoo. And to tell you the truth, as far as our actual human capabilities, when we start really being all that we can be, which is, we don't even know. And that's where I and a lot of us are coming from when we start sounding weird. It's like, because you just don't know what you don't know. and how that, okay, let's open the Epstein files again and say, fuck Epstein. Babe, this is a family who has used the technological base the right way, and they're saying, oh, by the way, we're here. And basically, they're advertising. They are advertising. Yep. They're saying, child pedophilia, this and that detail, and they get everybody else advertising, and they don't even know it. Yep. The ones that escape, oh, let's just break out all the files now. Let's repeat it all. And it's like, okay, so what the fuck is the answer to that? Well, like I said, it's looking pretty bleak here, isn't it? What I mean is, like I said, what did you say, Shama? There's all, I detect, not besides for me, I think I'm the only one in the United States, maybe. But this here is supposed to be, see, as well as DARPA having made it a God detector and is going to come and get you, especially if you dare stand up and say anything, right? If God shows, like, God is the one who approves of itself, which is usually a right-on thing that, of course, demonic, the diabolical, doesn't like it. I mean, that's the thing, is that's what the whole thing is here in this realm. The diabolical does not want God to recognize itself, especially, say, like this, you and I, babe, just says, truth, truth, nothing but the truth. So help me. Which God are you talking about? Is it the same one that the cameras are pointing at out there? I mean, through? See, as a Buddhist, as a master, myself, me, I'm not supposed to give it away. I don't just tell you right away, but I have been. And see, I was wondering, did you catch the knack? Did you get it? Like, okay, so what's the question? The question is forever for us, babes. What is reality? Do I have to get my chalkboard? Yes. I like that 3 people have been liking my videos. What's it going to take? See, I bet you anything it's the titles, but the subject matter. And what does this have to do with narcissism at all? Everything. You're on planet narcissism, and there is a cure, but did you know it was in the word currency? It was cure, you have to say it right, currency. I don't know everything, I don't know all things, but see, I would put the R down and I would just capitalize on the fact that the word cure is there in the word currency. See, NC, as we discussed in one of our videos, kids, is a suffix. Okay, we could look up if NCY is in fact a suffix. I know that Y is found as a suffix a lot. In and of itself, Y is a very important, like, engine thing. I determined that the Y is a, like I said, it stands for you. In fact, the I is there. Do you hear the word I and Y? I didn't lie yet. So, but it's doing this thing where it's looking like a tool that can bring in from out there, as well as how that this is a funnel, stuff going in there and coming down, and it's very much a tool. Looks like a funnel to me, or it's a great a wine glass. How about that? You got your little straw on the side. Now we're doing it. Okay, really, but see, you are a tool. It's a tool. It's something to think about. So, what I really wanted to talk about was reality. What is it, babes? R-E. Eh. Re means to do it again, right? Remember that. And having said this, we are in the middle of Mercury retrograde. And a lot of stuff that tries to go down, if you meet like new people during this time, it might not stick. Yeah, it has to be a very strong connection and really something that you definitely would have to work things out. It's difficult. See, that's what I'm dealing with is like, okay, so now okay, so this is what's really weird, and you guys know better than a lot of people out in 3D, but maybe you don't. See, because you really don't. Is that no? I remain pretty isolated. I'm hermited. I'm hermited up. I'm pretty much unacceptable. Yeah, there's a lot of people that have casted me out because I'm mean and stuff like that. It's like, well, no, there was probably something I was stressed out about. Did you care to help or anything? And then I would learn that no, you have to, eventually you're going to be able to pull out of it, but not without going, get this off of me and this fucking wannabe off of me and that too. They weren't really helping me out because I have, oh, and this is speaking as humanity, babes. We all have issues that are much more complex than what meets the eye, and how that we need to figure that out and get deeper with ourselves, right? And then it takes going through a lot of crap with people though first, right? So pardon my demeanor, it's kind of happening with me. So we learned about the itty, and we love the truth that comes up. See, I want to specify how the reason why I keep putting that there is because it's atomic. The darn, it's very multifaceted. It's like a measuring. You know how you have different. It's very much like that is one intersection of the many um, crosshairs that are, filaments, if you will, because we're in a web. Okay, if you really want to know, um, we then you would have to um, know that reality is here to just kind of. It's a fair. I want to put this down. I know that that's a suffix, but you know, you don't have to have the T so decorated out, but why not? It's the truth. And when you look at it, you're like, well, what's the truth about that? Well, it looks kind of like a flower, but it has like it looks kind of trippy. It's like it's something from Dr. Seuss, man. Come on now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is keep it up. Why? Well, because my thing about if that your eye is not on, if there's not enough on, then what you have? Realty. I'm in with the realty people right now. I'm like, I gotta get out of here. I really do. I think my cat's coming in. But the thing is where would I fucking have my cats? And so what I'm dealing with is pretty intense right now because it's sad because I have to like stand up for myself and say, okay, so but I mean fucking A. See, I was trying to tell you about how I was not getting along with, let's just say, sick people. People who are sick, but they don't know they are. And see, I know I'm sick, right? I know that I have in other words, babes, and don't say this in front of narcissists, which is 92% of you. Don't show them your flaws and don't admit anything like this because it's just not a human society. They're going to fucking attack you. Yep. This is the day and age that we live in. Is everybody is very, very fucking sick. Yep. Yep. And see, who can we trust? Where do we go to heal us? Well, whoever has actually been working on it and that knows it. See, the ones that you can say that are less sick than the really sick ones, that everybody's sick, is the ones who know it. And I happen to know it. So I'm just that much more above the level of the sick people that don't know it. Oh my God, actually way more. The norm is going to defend it's the mind too. It's horrible. I live in the United States and I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. I am so different from whatever it is out there that calls itself America. I don't really care about that label. No, I'm one of these teachers who says, can you achieve becoming a human being first? And by the way, the flag, your American flag, and all of them, by no means is a sign of peace. In fact, especially that American flag, but all of it, all of them, in fact, whoever has countries doing that is the same presence that is diabolical, that keeps people in detail after detail of fucking quagmire after quagmire of prejudice and all this shit. And it is a huge farming industry right underground there. Getting back to the Epstein files, is that thing opening and closing? It's like it's on fucking green slate. Let's just keep it on the computer chip now. And that's what they're doing. They're saying, okay, well, as long as, see, if you have technology raising up in order to evolve humanity, it has to be used to expose the enemy. And they are. The problem is everybody has, and listen to me, everybody has been so fucking jaded. I've been talking to you now about it, and it's by the screen. They first came out with the screens. Tesla made cell phones 100 years before. Okay, when did he have cell phones in his hand? In 1880, wasn't it? Yeah, in 1880. So supposedly the first seat, and they always use it, always, it's first used in deep state military. Always, first. But when we say deep state, babes, okay, so I know that these technologies are alien, but what it is just, it's high technology that is available from broke off civilizations, if you call it that. But it's more like benevolent beings who live in outer space, man. And these things have been around forever. In fact, the holograms are coming up more. And babes, okay, so the human being, the aperture, the physical body, is very much wired electrically to where it could have technology like installed, and it's kind of, now you're thinking like, okay, this chick is all into Elon Musk and just do the Neuralink, and it's like, no, those people are fucking dangerous. We're talking about electromagnetically hooking into the actual machinery instead of whatever they're doing with every bit of the way they invade the body, down to your surgeries to fix whatever it is they created with tumors and stuff. Because they can actually be healed not only with machinery that has vibrational frequencies that are tuned to the right frequency that just heals, but people can learn how to be that, and they do that. It's very obscured. You can find it though. I think they're doing it somewhere in China, most likely. And they are really, and they do this thing. The patient is very, very like coagulated. I don't know if that's the word, but more like cohesive, coherent to, like, very understanding of the process. And the people have achieved knowing how to do this, basically. And getting back to, I bet you anything, though, that even though they know how to do that, they still have on their level some illnesses and sicknesses to deal with that is supposed to be here, because in fact if you're watching this and you have a 5-pointer, a head, and all of the rest, you've got a heart pumping blood, it's a terminal. It's terminal. You're doing a terminal sentence here. It means you're going to die of this at this particular passage that you're using a body temporary, and it's it's a disease. It's very uncomfortable. I mean, like, what's the saying say that there's an awkward moment right between birth and death there. It's just, whew. But if you're lucky, you get to see it as is before you go, and then get on the internet and start saying, do I live in a simulator here? Is this a simulator? Wait a minute. See, if you're able, and I always say, I've been saying privileged enough, and I don't like that word, right? Because it makes you think of white supremacy. And what I really mean is, like, did you manage to, it's actually the worst experience ever. Did you experience enough, almost like abandonment from the world, really, not getting touched by it enough to where now you're fortunate. You are privileged to have been quiet, to start to acquire the real information as to, like, why people love to stay alone. And like, okay, it goes along with why or how that spiritual people and or religious is what they think they're talking about, but it's actually spiritual ones, that they end up, they just don't have kids. They know what love is, and they see a problem. See, it's just a catch-22, and I've talked about it before. I'm just trying to make this a long video. But that's the phenomena that you can pull this information out and say, but why does it look like this? And say, it's because that's the way it is, really. And so getting back to the Epstein files and the kids things, I mean, can you guys please, see, you have no idea, right? You just don't know. And so I happen to think that I'm well on my way. I have a hell of a task of fucking see, I want to meet people, but I'm a healer, and I have to tell them, I have to, because it's like, babes, this is me, this is who I am, and I have difficulty with people because they might be sick, and my job is to heal, and I just do it. I try to do it. And so, but see, I isolate myself away. I'm a super empath. See, I cannot handle the population right now that is going to say, so, they want you to say, I am and I have so much school. And it's like, nope, nope, nope. I'm a musician. I do astrology. I use higher learning tools. You see what I'm saying? I'm a super empath. I'm not going to say anything like, oh, and I went to this university and I fucking do this. And no, I'm a healer of sorts. Yes, I am. I say, I'm going to be saying something like, I'm human. See, they want to know, what do you make money? It's like, I don't make money. In fact, you don't make money either. Want me to explain? Well, there's a machine called the Mint. And boy, don't you wish that your clothes were the same quality as the $1 bill that you see that's 1969? You found it in the washer. You're like, what the fuck? My jeans don't even last this long, baby. So anyway, getting back to your paper clothing, who are you? Who? I really want to know, who are you? He's a pinball wizard. It's got to be a twist. Man, watch out. So, truth and reality. If you want to know, it's right there. Boom, T. I didn't lie yet. Look at it. It's like, what's the truth about it? Well, it looks like a dandelion. Okay, good job, Billy. You got what's information correctly. Information. Nobody knows what they're talking about there. That's actually what's information. Here, this? No. Babes, you can put a microscope on it, and you'll see that little ink line. It fucking lifts up. It's like a towering canyon. I'm very scientific, and I'm interesting too. I'm interesting to your kids. Let them go. Let them go. Let them free. Let them be free. Anyway, in tribes, they don't let the kids, they don't let girls play with boys. The women know to push the boys away because she could ruin his life forever if she doesn't. That's the problem. That's one of the main things I wanted to talk about. First of all, I picked it up, and you guys, some of you people are my witnesses, see, because I'm going to start interacting with the fucking society that is royally fucking sick. When you say royally, it means that they were jacked by the royal family who's just, they are not human beings, babe. They're borrowing the human, like, I want to say factory, but yeah, it is really interesting to start unfolding and figuring out like what scientifically what is really happening, and they kind of do, you know. It's not looking good because it's looking like that in another dimension it could be just as kind of problematic. Yeah, let's just talk about it like that. And it is, in fact, it is. That's where we're at right now, is that there is alarm in all three dimensions. And when I say all three dimensions, I'm talking about outer space. The benevolent beings, they're like, they're going to let them announce and advertise that they are being farmed, and nobody is standing up. They have a little detector right from way up there. They're called the Watchers. And see, your watch could be of some use to you, but what is it doing for you, right? It's the same with your fucking communications right here. See, it's really ultimately, folks, it's the same with you. Why? The very technological thing that is you, okay? Because there's two yous. You are the biological, the we. That's the one that's hooked into everybody. And that's, see, I would dare say that that's the capital S in self when they do talk about the self in Sanskrit. That mainly men talk about. It's kind of funny. It's like, well, but why? Because it's actually the woman's subject matter after a while when you're talking about the non-physical self, which is vibrational. It's the non-physical. See, this is the physical, which is the sheep, right? Oops, I don't want to spell that out. It won't fit, right? So anyway, but then there is the technical. There is the very, like I'm trying to tell you, is that you're a machine, man. You're a PC, and there you are. That's you. This is a symbol. These are symbols that says how how it's working, and it's important to know about the reverse and stuff, and we'll figure it all out because it's suspected that, see, you can do a reverse anyway, right? But the R says make sure you know about that. And but we don't get that here. We get that if we say your, and there's where I love to say, by the way, there is no ownership of things here. It's ours. Yep. And see, this particular concept of no ownership, nobody owns anything. They're hijacking that. They have to announce it. But do you know that there's two here? There's a malevolence that is announcing things, and then there's a benevolence that is announcing things. And it should be obvious to the human faction, and in fact it is, but there's only 6 on the planet. They're about ready to go extinct. But they'll be the ones who tells you wholeheartedly they're not in the spotlight, but maybe Dalai Lama might be able to say this. I don't know. He's busy showing everybody, look, I can have a kid suck my tongue. Whatever, you know, it's like, okay, I get it, but boy, man, for immature people, this is really getting fucking hairy. Because they're being rendered up more and more non-human because they don't do anything. What I mean is just they don't do anything. They're taking orders. Yeah. So the Dalai Lama, what was I trying to say about something? I got off track there, right? Um, I'll be able to point it out eventually. I don't lose my place. You don't have to remember the truth. It might go off in the background, but it comes up again. And some people don't know that I don't remember. It's not a remembering any of this. You don't have to remember the truth. Can I say it again in a different way? Yes. You don't have to remember important things. The universe will not let it pass you by if in fact you were supposed to communicate about it. Now, getting back to communicators, Dalai Lama was supposed to say something earlier here, but it doesn't have to be a mainstream person like that. Um, that they would say, they talk about that no, you don't own anything here, not even your rib cage. You can own your behaviors. That's what Thich Nhat Hanh says. I love Thich Nhat Hanh so much. I love that guy. I love the sound of his voice. And anyway, I love him so much. Can you see I'm getting tears in my eyes? I didn't really dwell on him very much, but I don't know. It's just the fact of that's the way it is. Love and light and enlightenment. And the way that he can keep telling stories over and over again that are so important. Man, when that man died, it was in February of 2022, and it was devastating to me. I was like, I began to see it's like, no, and now who's going to be able to take his place? It's going to be that much more dumbed down and inauthentic, most likely. As always, he had a good friend, Martin Luther King, and see, Thich Nhat Hanh kept himself alive by not revealing some things. And it's safer to be in sanctuary. He stayed in a robe all his life at the fucking Buddhist monastery, and that's what I want. I'm trying to do ashram, and that means that there's an energetic alignment with a communicator that is in a shrine. A shrine it can be a big place, a big kind of just a place. It's almost like a huge chair or something like that. But like a monument, I guess. But that's within the sanctuaries. And when somebody becomes enlightened, they are enshrined. They are turned into a place like neon. That happens in the East, more in the East. And it's an energetic phenomenon, and it's lost in modern day. There's a big problem with that. And so there's a confusion happening right now. See, with all of this shit in the air, we're talking about, sorry, let me just erase this whole thing, right? We're talking about the Epstein files, and then not long after they would really be hot and heavy about talking about it, the weapons are released on the old world over there population, which is just, it's a massive breeding ground is all it is. And they're pleasing an interdimensional demon when they kill innocent people, and all of those people are innocent that are being kept under that kind of rule in that country. And babes, what we will kind of expose more and more, if you think about it a little bit, see, I'm able to just think a little bit and think, wait a minute, there's something really strange about thinking that, see, people don't really think clearly for some reason. So I was trying to tell you, like, okay, so with the flags, well, whoever made up the flag thing, whoever has a flag now, that's being controlled by this one thing that says, let's just make them crazy. Gaslight. And so now it's possible to take a picture, say like that this is a picture that I just took, and it's not your Polaroid camera, but it's the cell phone. And then, and if I say, look, is this me right here? And somebody says yes, I got to watch out for that person because I'm actually right here. This is not me. Really. See, you won't find that as fucking breathtakingly important until one day you'll see what I mean by, like, oh my God, everybody's dislocated above reality. Ah! See, this is, see, now when you say, is that me? Is as good as your mind. It's a one-dimensional cartoon. See, psychologists refer to objects that are in your head, and then there's objects in reality. I, as a Buddhist, am obligated to tell you that reality is the mind of God. There's objects there, including you, who carries objects in your head regarding a version of the truth that found in reality. Hopefully, who knows what's going on there, right? But you do hold an image of me in your head, and it has nothing to do with me in reality. In reality, there's a lot of people around me who are stone cold fucking sick because they really are kind of not very well put together as far as some things like this. It's like, well, okay, so, but now, see, now with me, pardon me while I take off my happy dabby shirt. I'm trying to get my cat back in here and just wind down. I had a hell of a day. It's March 16th and it's just the beginning. I'm going to have to see, it's weird because people are not really giving a fuck to recognize anybody or honor anybody. Okay, so my life entails showing up for people in a certain way. I don't know, it's just now time to say, okay, so who are we? Because what's going to happen now, especially with me, the Aries type, is that, oh, you didn't hear us? And you didn't know? Well, let you know now. And we're very different too, because I am me and you are you. But see, I see a problem. See, I can see you, but you can't see me. Am I a camera just looking at you? And but the problem is you can't self-reflect. There's like non-self-reflection. And it's like, oh my God, this is all on me. And it's like, okay, so this is weird. Thank God my cat is there. Thank God. So I'm thinking this is weird because I am so not going to conduct a goddamn normal thing. Not ever in my life have I, and it won't, so I'm not going to start now. Look, here's our mascot. Chiki Papa the Loop. Ooh, she's so upset because you don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go close the door. Here, she'll give you a little report. Ah! I'm racing her. And I won. Yay! No, she's a good girl. She's such a good girl. Oh, I love her so much. I'm so blessed. And you're blessed if you have a little creature comfort. Boy, do we need it. But we really need each other, you guys. The thing about me is I've been so isolated and nobody considers it, I guess. I have had happen to me too many times just in the past week. People, babes, I'm isolated. I do not see people. I would know if I saw them, even on a trail. I haven't been on a trail in a while, but people are insisting, I've seen you. I remember you. See, what it is they're very, very insecure because they don't know who I am. And see, what the trick is with me, a Buddhist master, is that I am you. So what do you see again? You don't really see me until you are actually engaging in real time, man. You're in your head about, I know about you. In your fucking head? That's a red flag for me, and I'm going to just start putting my head down. My foot down. I can't handle this. Because it's called projections, and then now I'm in a place where it's like, this isn't my life. This isn't me. This is some place where now I am being a doormat or something like that. And fuck all of that. So I'm trying to move people in here. I put I put an ad up, and a good friend of mine, she's very beneficial. She means well, but she threw at me what I think is it's almost like, what kind of a cosmic joke is this, man? No, it's not a cosmic joke. Here's the cosmic joke. Here it is. I want to be clear. Is it because I'm a healer? This is what it is. It's not. There's a big bunch of problems right there, and I could solve them. But that person is not going to want to solve them. See, what I notice is, okay, so I'm not going to talk about this much. Because I would like to think that it would work for me. This person, I know that they want to rent my downstairs, but there's too many problems. See, my intuition says there's too many problems, and it's not with them. It's with the fact that, no, see, if the electrical wasn't so fucked up, then I would say, no, these people are actually perfect. But no, these people aren't. Somebody else might be perfect for it, who can help me with the electrical. She said that she can. See, now I'm talking about this, and I should be talking about this. The main thing for me, the main problem is that we are very different people. I'm pretty sure that there are people that are lost to the real God, and I'm saying, I know what God is. You want to talk about it? It's just a word, first of all. Number one, for you people that have been rendered up atheist. That's a word too. Do I have to get my chalkboard out again? Come on, you know what atheist has in it, right? Just do the birds and words. There's two very distinct words in there that a sheep doesn't know what atheist means. It's like, oh, bless you, atheist. But they know what at heist means. They're like, are they at heist? Yep. All of their faculties and their own ability, their own agency has been sucked out of them, and it's been fed a bunch of shit, and they just can't handle it anymore, right? A lot of people who have been rendered up atheist, they're having trouble with words. Let me get back to you as I'm letting my other cat, Gray, in. So since, I'm sorry about the glare. I'm not bothering to do that, right? And that takes a little concentration, kind of like attention, and I'm not getting paid, babe. You have to pay attention, don't forget that. So I wanted to talk about God, because the atheists, I noticed, and I've been called to the bedside of atheists who have been dying, and I knew why I was there. I was like, oh, this person is totally confused, and leave it to Christianity to create a bunch of atheists. Yep, most of you, all of you are. If you're one of these people that comes up with you start just saying, sacrifice so that Hunt may live. Can you make sense out of your fucking self at all? What that is, babes, is a bunch of bullies, man. You want to know the story there? It's just a story. It's about a bunch of bullies that couldn't handle the light of the healer there. Is this the same video? So getting all confused about a word is what they're doing, but that's not confusing. That symbol right there is like, that's an obvious. And I'll get back to that symbol in a minute. But see, we're just confused about words. Oh, this is dog backwards. Well, I bet you the fucking narcissists can handle that. They're like, yay, I knew it. But let's look at that wonderful symbol in the middle. That's really where it's at. Ow! Listen to that. Ow! We're having fun now. Yes, because now, let me just move it over. Why? Well, because we have all the freedom in the world, too. That's the way God is. He says, I am the creator and the destroyer. I'm allowing it. So we have it allows it. Yeah. even though the A is in the word allow, but there's definitely an O in the word allow. God is, sorry, I don't want to make, but this is still a capital letter. Whoops, yay. Outer. What am I going to say? What is it, kids? What does it say? Outer space. Good. My sheep are learning. You have to. Tell those fucking people that you know where you're at, okay? And then tell them to turn the camera off. You don't need it anymore on you. Unless that's my camera and I get to spot. Are you guys paying attention to what kidnapper kidnapped who and ate what? By the way, that's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Did you notice it's breaking down? Like, who gives a fuck? Sorry, look, I can't even write it. Our pace. Keep up, keep up. Keep up with what? Keep up with God. When? Where? Now. What's that, kids? At this point, and it's always this point too, right? See, it's not when I'm recording here, it's when you're watching it. Right now, you're in the now. See, I'm having trouble as a Buddhist, the weirdest master. I'm saying now, if you could just go over to the wall and wrap your head against it a couple times. Boom, boom, boom. Is that me here now? Yes. And that's all that you'll ever have to manage, after all. I mean, what the hell? See, I was just getting to the fact of God, it's not happening anywhere else but now. There is a change of scenery that will go on. See, I'm a high priestess, and a lot of my information, when I really start getting into it, is preparing people for their journey away from their body. And some of them will have it before they even actually go. And what I'm saying is that they're able to go into a dream field and pick out and say, well, this is what happened. And I was okay. Yep, you're going to be okay. Yep. Don't hang on to a single bit of it, because outer space doesn't do that. It just lets everything float around. And there is a gravity factor, and that's in this realm, reality. We do have gravity. And we don't know what that is. Not at all. Unless you start talking about electricity. Yep. Yeah. Here's the I, and we don't know what electricity is really. I mean, really. But don't you love when I start writing the T? Ria is God. But I was trying to tell you, and this is the same video. Good. It's getting up there. This is all, these symbols, they're all pointing at the truth in reality. It is not the truth in reality. They are pointing at it, and you yourself can be a good pointer. In fact, you're supposed to be. Otherwise, you have a camera on you, and that thing isn't connected to anything. It's really not. A lot of people are really paranoid about their privacy, but really, they don't want you to just bust out and say, go ahead, film me doing everything. Just, they don't want you to take the sky and say, this is mine also. I can't hide anything here. I can see the sky will still show that I went into hiding, and now that I'm hiding, it's just you can't hide that you're hiding, right? And so when you think of it that way, and you do look at that way, and how that they do synthetically hone in on everybody electromagnetically because they're holding a device or whatever, and you figure, okay, so the big news is that the Ayatollah Khomeini died, but he was probably ready to go, right? And then now they're switching off, and people are under the illusion, I think, that that Trump, see, some people are actually thinking, oh man, thank God, because that place was so horrible. And it's like, not really. It's a massive distraction thing. Every bit of civilization that uses the dirty electricity, which keeps us frozen like pieces of meat in a fucking refrigerator, is subject to these bombings. Because every civilization that is kept by the hum of the 60 cycle, keep them all asleep and frozen and not evolving, but in the freezer, like a fucking TV dinner. Is full of shit. There is a whole other like life or broke off actual civilization that is not of this weird farming operation that you see. See, me, not much time here, but see, when I go down, when I look at it and I see it, and I realize, oh, and so when you get off the plane, this is the way it looks. It's just you feel like you're in the same place. Basically, there's a McDonald's, Coca-Cola, right? If it's in China, it's just done mega because they're Chinese, and if it's in Africa, it's done kind of probably all bubbly, and they're all about their bubbles and sound and stuff. And anyway, water, very colorful, and see what I'm saying though? It's just a farming operation that has everybody dancing to the pitch of a wicked witch. Everything has been reversed on them. And when we say reversed, sorry, I'm not talking about going backwards. We're talking about a verse has been redone. And it could be anywhere from how that you don't understand what they mean by calm mercy. Goodbye, said like a telecommunications operator. Fuck, I hate when I say it 3 times. Did I actually edit that 3 times, said operator? If not, then imagine how many times I actually did edit things that you don't know. Oh God, you wouldn't believe it. Let me talk about it a little bit more and make it an hour. But I've been making it so that you don't hear me saying and stuff like that. And my fantasy is, and you should do this and make more money than I could ever, because I just don't do it, but I give you the idea to do it, and then you really do it, is to make an hour-long tape of, okay, so like a good example is David Icke. David Icke says, and he stutters a lot too. He'll say, and sorry. I have an actual Mercury conjunct Uranus, so I can talk really fast. And it's like, did you catch that? Because I am trying to convey so much of God's mind coming through me, yes. That's how I know what we know, but a lot of people can be this way. But see, everybody's different, and we have to really cherish who each one is. And it's important to know that, well, you're not, a fish isn't going to be doing what a giraffe does. Come on now, an eagle doesn't do what a darn porcupine is up to. And you guys, get along and just appreciate it. Gee. Hey, what is that darn eagle doing to that snake? Get it! Get it! Ugh, I hated this year of the snake. Okay, thanks for sitting through this one for me. I tried to make it as informative and as fun as possible. If I did, boy, I'm doing brain surgery right now. I need to take a shower. If this week is anything like today, then good, but it can't be, because tomorrow is a whole other day of intense, like, just when you hear the first gut feeling, go with it. And listen to whether or not, is it fear of change, or is it just a real live mismatch, and you know that if you fucking ignore those red flags, just like with any other narcissist, you're fucking doomed. That is the end of you. Every bit of delicacy that you think you are, especially that good feeling, kiss it goodbye. That's what you get for ignoring red flags as far as anything. Getting a new job, new people, anything. So, thanks for listening.